Namaskar. Jai Hind friends. Welcome to Geopolitics with Anshuman. In the last 24 hours, a very important news story broke in Melbourne, Australia. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese finalized a landmark civil nuclear agreement. Under this deal, Australia will officially start long-term uranium exports to India. Now, if you read the mainstream media, the headlines focus entirely on clean energy and climate change. Those goals are completely genuine. India needs green power to meet its massive climate targets. But if you look at the environmental side, you are missing a parallel, deeply strategic blueprint. This uranium deal was announced at the same exact time as a major military and maritime defense agreement was also signed. So this timing tells us that the relationship between India and Australia is getting much deeper. It's not just about the environment, it's about the long-term energy security and industrial strength. So today we'll look beneath the surface. We'll examine how India is combining Western natural resources with advanced technology from other partners to upgrade its industrial future. So let's break this down plain and simple. See, in order to understand how big this deal is, we first need to look at a major new law passed in India called the SHANTI Act. Now, for over the last 60 years, nuclear energy was an absolute monopoly, state monopoly. It was controlled by the government. Private companies were completely kept out of it. But after bringing in the SHANTI Act, all that changed. It officially ended the government monopoly. Now, private Indian companies can build, own, and even run nuclear projects. And above that, this law fixed the complicated rules about who is responsible if something goes wrong. What happened in the past? In the past, the foreign equipment suppliers were afraid to work with India because of open-ended legal risks. But now the Shanti Act made the rules very clear and aligned with the international standards. This legal shift is the exact reason why Australia finally agreed to sell uranium to India after 12 years of waiting and negotiating. It's a long time. The government of India was negotiating with them and they had to bring in changes within the system in the Indian environment to go forward with this nuclear deal. And mind you, Australia holds nearly 28% of the world's uranium reserves. So now India has both the legal framework and the raw fuel to massively expand its nuclear power capabilities. But here is where the geopolitical chess game gets interesting. Friends, to build a strong energy system, you need two things. You need the raw fuel and you need advanced reactors. So India is securing the fuel from a core Western partner, Australia. But where is the technology coming from? The answer is Russia. So while some countries view global politics as a choice between rigid blocs, India operates on the principle of strategic autonomy. This has been the principle of the Modi government since it came to power. Now, what are we doing? What is the Indian government doing? Now, India's Department of Atomic Energy has been in advanced discussion with Russia's state nuclear giant Rosatom. Russia is currently considered as the global leader in specific technology called the small modular reactors or SMRs. So, traditional nuclear power plants are huge, cost around billions of dollars and take a decade to build. But these small modular reactors, what we call the SMRs, they are very different. They are mini, they are factory-made reactors and they can be shipped by train, by trucks and placed on a very small piece of land, often less than 15 acres. And now here is $1 billion question, friends. Why are SMRs perfect for India's industrial corridors? Because they are placed directly next to heavy manufacturing plants and massive cloud data centers. What do? They provide steady 24/7 power right on site without putting extra pressure on the normal public electricity grid. As you all know, India is a population of 1.4 billion people and the daily domestic electric consumption is huge. So in order to make up for the industrial requirement, India has to look for other ways. Not only that, this plan is directly connected to the global race for technology, manufacturing and artificial intelligence. Just think about it. Massive AI data centers and semiconductor factories need an incredible amount of constant electricity. Now, if the power cuts out for even a second, the system fails. Geopolitical planners in New Delhi are highly aware of energy safety. Traditional your fuels like oil come through long maritime sea lanes, and we know the burning example, the sea lane like the Strait of Hormuz. So even the planners here in New Delhi worry that these routes could face traffic or major disruption during a global crisis, and we have experienced it of late due to the US-Iran war. So by using the Shanti Act, India thought of bringing private investment into SMRs. India's goal is to protect its high-tech zones from those global energy shocks. Now we must be completely realistic. See, reliable electricity alone does not instantly turn India into a dominant manufacturing superpower. To truly compete with a giant like China, India has to solve complex challenges in labor laws, roads, ports, and supply chains, and India is doing it rapidly at a very fast pace to bring in all these changes so that it can come up and compete with China. That's not all. China still remains India's largest source of industrial inputs, and that reality will not change overnight. But having a secure, independent power supply is a vital first step. It reduces India's dependence on foreign fuel during a crisis. Now, what this uranium and reactor blueprint really shows us is how India maintains its strategic autonomy, which means true sovereign independence. Many international experts try to argue that India must choose a side. They say India must either align completely with the West or join the China-Russia alliance. But New Delhi just showed the world that India does not follow anyone else's script. India acts purely in its own national interest. Look at the facts. Russia's motivation is clear. They want commercial revenue. They want to export their technology, and they want to keep a strong friendship with New Delhi to maintain their global relevance. They are acting for themselves. But India is balancing both sides very beautifully. We are taking raw material from Australia, a key Western ally, and looking to run it inside advanced reactor technology from Russia. So this proves that India does not take orders from either Washington nor Moscow. So by keeping excellent relationship with both sides, India ensures its own growth is steady and secure. So friends, real geopolitics is not about loud shouting or dramatic headlines. The real changes happen quietly through long-term legal reforms like the Shanti Act and strategic energy partnerships. By securing uranium from Australia and exploring modular reactors, India is steadily building the foundation of its future economic growth. What are your thoughts on this dual-track strategy? Do you think India's policy of balancing relationship with both the West and Russia is the right path for our economic security? Let me know your perspective in the comments below. If you appreciate this simple, direct and fact-checked analysis, please hit the like button, share this video with friends and subscribe to the channel. Until we meet next time. Namaskar. Thank you.